No, just no. This isn't just a hobby. This is an investment. I mean, in case you saw that email, that thread, that whatever, you know, I saw this email over the weekend and I said, holy off the tracks Batman, right? Marketing, PR, you might as well just have, you know, said it was an NFT and gone with that. But what the heck? Mythic? Really? In case you're out of the loop, Mythic over the weekend sent this email for Darkest Dungeon, literally labeling it a sell-off period, right? Okay. Game's outstanding, but quote unquote, straight from the page, it's not a hobby, it's an investment. And not just investment, but investment in all uppercase. So the gameplay is fantastic. Quality of components is huge. Huge is the term they use there. Details of miniatures are off the charts. Random Board Game Geek comment sections are included in there as well. And then it goes on to say, considering all the positive reaction on Board Game Geek and Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, it's not just buying it for leisure. It's an investment, folks. It's an investment. You should be investing your wise earned dollars into this. Don't go to Charles Schwab or Merrill Lynch. Go to Mythic Games, folks. An investment, an asset or item acquired with the goal of generating income or appreciation. Boom! Definition completely over their heads. I'm sorry. Ridiculous. You know, granted, you could say it's, you know, a resource today for time, effort, money, or an asset in hopes of greater payoff in the future than was originally put in. I don't know that I go into this hobby from that aspect of things. I hope to get in, you know, a significant amount of enjoyment. Now, I do put the investment, though, into the time, money, and effort and energy. So take that for what you will. Just the tone of the whole rest of the email, even. Okay, we know the game was ready to ship just before COVID, and they asked for a contribution. We asked for a contribution for energy and for shipping costs due to COVID and the Ukrainian war. But, ... how much is it really worth a board game of such quality and gameplay with over 130 high-end miniatures, right? How much will it be worth on the second-hand market in a few months? Not months, actually. Like, literally, the company is sending it to you saying, don't worry, you'll be able to scalp it on the secondary market later for more than you paid. Holy, what? How much is it worth compared to other board games on Kickstarters these days? Well, if you're selling it for half off, that means you don't even believe in your own product enough to sell it for the price that you sold it for on the FOMO-driven campaign that you ran in the first place. What the deuce? Don't worry, though. We're giving you 2 to 3 times its discounted price during this sell-off period. That's what you call an investment. What? Random Facebook post, flash sale. What? And then they follow this up, 2 days later with another one. Near to madness sell-off period up until Monday night. Hello, my friend. How are you? As you probably know, it's the last weekend of the winter sell-off period. As with many other companies, we decided to promote our last items in stock from our overstocks during a short period of time until Monday midnight. Time's running out. Overstocks are running low. Don't hesitate to miss out on this great opportunity to purchase one of the best dungeon crawl board games of all times. No. Nope. Random Facebook post there, right? I mean, you're making Onimaru and Queen Games look good right now, right? Bleh. Like, why? Anyway, that's rant number 1. Let's talk about Onimaru, though, for a second and how that relates. In case you're not familiar, in case you're new to this channel, I talk about Onimaru on a quarterly basis because this has become one of the poster childs for disastrous Kickstarter projects as a whole. However, it got turned around a few months ago with a new potential backer, supplier, overseer coming in, partnering with a little bit of somebody else. I don't even remember now who it was, but Penguin and Panda basically got bailed out. And if you go to the latest update here, they're in production, they say. They're in production. Now, the tricky part with this is that they talk about not only Onimaru being produced post-COVID and as well as Chinese New Year shutdowns, they also talk about Manchukuo. Manchukuo is going to be done soon. These are the production pictures from Manchukuo. So if you're a Manchukuo backer, like, hey, here's physical, pictures of that. But if you're an Onimaru backer, they say, well, you know what? The tricky part here is it's not going to be ready by the end of Q1, production-wise. And they've also said they're going to do Manchukuo and Onimaru all thrown together, shipping. And so if you're Manchukuo, you're waiting on Onimaru. If you're Onimaru, you're just kind of like, oh, well, maybe I'll actually end up with a product. So that's sort of what is going to be there. And the balls here, the testicular fortitude here, is that they, I mean, and again, I understand at the same time, maybe hold off for a little while. Where, you know, because I had this game on my radar for a long time before I knew this was a Penguin and Panda production. Sento, the Ultimate Arcade Fighter. Right? Like, you're going to have to offer a lot more goodwill for me to consider backing this campaign, especially knowing what you went through to get here. Now, again, you know, I will be the first to say I would be more than happy to review Onimaru when it eventually comes available. Like, I love the theme. I love this, but holy crap, this is a mess. So, slowly getting sorted out. Take that for what you will. The other thing we have to talk about, speaking of Queen, we're just going to, you know, hit on all the rambles and rants today. Queen, Stefan Feld, City Collection, Hamburg, Amsterdam, and then you had New York, and you had the other one that I completely forget as well. Marrakesh, the one I actually want. Yeah, let's talk about this for a second. 879 days, or 2 years, 4 months, and 27 days since the end of this campaign, I finally got my copy of Hamburg. Communication, poor. Distribution, not so great. You know, but it appears people are actually finally getting it. That's the time that it took since the campaign ended for me. I mean, that's a lot of time because you bundled stuff together, because you ran campaigns that you should have ran simultaneously and not done 2 or 3 of them to cover, you know, all of your overstock or understock or whatever else in between. That being said, the other irritation that goes along with this is they already announced the upcoming 5 and 6 remakes of 2 other games of the Feld collection here, Cuzco and Vienna. And, you know, I have to think that you burned a lot of goodwill, especially in one, announcing this, but 2, also, some of those issues are out of your control, I understand. Some of them, I mean, it's just communication. Just communication. And so, I mean, hopefully it's better, but I mean, this has sort of been par for the course with the last couple Queen campaigns, is you get about 2 updates a campaign, as opposed to the CMON 75, I think we're up to now with Marvel United Multiverse. So, I mean, it's just a different dynamic, but you're going to have to win back some people with this one, because I don't think people are feeling terribly happy. Some of the production on the actual deluxeifications is not where it needs to be. Like, I pulled out my deluxeified Hamburg yesterday and I said, I paid this for this? Like, I'm super happy now to get the classic. And the other tricky point with Queen is, Queen, you know, you can't even buy any of the 4 original ones at retail. I went to their website yesterday because I'm actually, like I mentioned, I'm not just being facetious. I'm interested in Marrakesh. But Marrakesh, you can't buy in North America. There's out of stock in Europe, but it's $180 for the Deluxeified. There's no classic site in addition anywhere that you can find. And there's not really anywhere to buy them else. Although they say, you know, you should probably be able to get it at retail, especially the classic edition. There doesn't appear to be any plan for that yet, which, again, you have people actually interested in your product. It sort of reminds me of like Breaking Games and Dwellings of Elderville, right? Like, at some point you do a wingspan and you start producing more because you have more people interested in your product, not just necessarily, I mean, and again, I understand the logistics side of things, but when you have money waiting, I would anticipate a little bit more haste or post haste with some of those decisions. So I don't know. Again, not a Feldian. This is going to be the make it or break it for me with Hamburg, and we'll see, because I have no freaking clue. There you go. One last one here, and we'll go over to CMON, because apparently one thing jumping the shark this week is not enough. We have to have 2 potentially jumping the sharks between Mythic and CMON. And, you know me on this channel. I'm a big fan of Marvel United. Big fan. I'm backing. Just put out yesterday the whole video of what you should get in ranking the expansions. And then they come with this cherry on top, window dressing, if you will, called the Pets expansion, right? Literal shark jumping it. $20, completely Kickstarter exclusive. You just get to add in pets wherever you want. It horribly reminds me of the other Pets Arcadia Quest, which was kind of okay, but then after they did Arcadia Quest Pets, right, everything sort of seemed to jump the shark in terms of the riders, and then Starcadia, and then, all of the, just, it did not seem to be anywhere of a plan, and it just seemed to be throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what grazes money, and not a whole lot of actual thought to the gameplay. And that's what this is, because all you do is you add your standee, or your standee. See, I love standees. You add your miniature to the board. They don't count as a bad guy. They can't take damage. You just add 3 cards to your deck. So you could just have 3 more cards to your deck and make it that much harder for you to lose. And I don't think that necessarily stays with the spirit of the game. And this one seems like the oddball out. Like, if you compare it to everything else that they've done, which one of these is not like the other? It's this one. And I say that as someone who really looks at this and go, this could have been a cool concept. This could be the thing, but that's what you saw with Arcadia Quest, right? Like you saw with pets, and all of a sudden the pets, you can ride them, and then all of a sudden then you've got riders, and then all of a sudden you've got just the campaign for like 2 sets of riders that are, you know, $90, and then you never heard from Arcadia Quest again. And that's what bothers me with this one, is I could just see it being one of those situations, and it worries the heck out of me from that standpoint. We'll see. Time will tell. Rant, ramble, rave over. Your weekly dose of my stuff as you like it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if anything else I should cover like this on a more routine basis, because you know, as much as I hate bringing up these topics, I really like ranting and talking about them, because I just like talking about our hobby as a whole. So, yep, Angry Man yells at clouds. I'll get a couple of those comments in the comment section. I'm completely okay with that. Stay classy. See you around. Thanks for tuning in.